So welcome, Suzanne Henwood. Congratulations, you are a finalist in the Education and Research category of the 2022 NLP Awards. So first of all, congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
Chosen by our independent panel. I'm lucky, as I said, we don't get some independent panel. We don't get involved with the selection of the finalists at all. But I do get to read all the nominations, and I have your nomination in front of me. So if I may, I will just read you a bit of it. It says, Suzanne has been involved in some empirical research studies for NLP. The first was around height phobia, which was published in a peer-reviewed journal and disseminated to several academic conferences via the lead author, Professor Bruce Arrell. Suzanne was also involved in a second study with Professor Arrell around submodalities and pain. Suzanne's work with the Society and College of Radiographers has established NLP leadership training as a regular event for radiographers to attend. All the courses are oversubscribed and are seen within the profession as a must for all radiographers who are seeking either personal development or are in leadership roles. And when I read things like that, you know, it's just lovely to read. So just tell us a little bit more about this and the work that you've done that's led to your nomination.
Yeah, I mean, part of me goes, it's just what I do. So it's really hard to make it stand out or seem different or special, because I know there are hundreds of other people around the world doing amazing stuff in education and research. So, you know, I'm honored that somebody nominated me and to pull it out, but actually I think this is an opportunity to say what's going on globally in the field of education and research and NLP. For me personally, why did I start doing research in it? I was in an academic role, so it was natural. I was teaching research, I was supervising up to PhD level. And when I got involved in NLP, it's like, it just made sense. We need some empirical evidence, certainly within healthcare. If you don't have that, they're not going to take NLP in as a new intervention. So part of it was driven by my background in academia, but the more I've got into it, the more I've just felt it's just normal. I know should is a difficult word, but in my map of the world, you know, we should be doing research regularly across all of the fields, all of the tools, to show that it works, and that as it changes over time, we keep adapting the research to say the new stuff works as well. So yeah, I've been lucky to work with Professor Bruce Arrell a few times, and that has meant that that work's been disseminated out into medical communities globally. You know that we had a real issue publishing one of those articles because the term NLP was in the title. Yeah. We wrote about that in Rapport, and that was really interesting because there's me pushing NLP research and then being challenged in the media to go, great research. The reviews were like, this is great research, this is rigorous, it's, you know, valid, it's reliable, but it can't be true because it's got NLP in the title.
So much for research, eh?
I know. So that was a real challenge to me on so many levels. And like so many things, red rag to the bull just made me go harder to get it published. And Bruce and I both, yes, we took it out of the title to get it into a peer-reviewed journal, but it was very clear within the text that it was NLP that we were using, because it had to be. That was the truth. That was what we'd used the fast phobia cure. So yeah, it's an ongoing journey. I think the whole thing about what research is interesting. So many people use the term because they've looked up a Google search or read one paper. That's not research. So yeah, I'm passionate about NLP, and I'm passionate about getting NLP credibly disseminated and known out into the world so that other people aren't put off by any preconception they've got about what it might be. They actually look at the data and say, there must be something in this. It works. It's shown to work. So
Yes, absolutely. And as I said, I've got your nomination in front of me, and it's got some testimonials included. And one of them says, during my most recent MSc module, her empirical published research provided me with the necessary arguments to identify NLP and embraining as useful tools in managing interesting people, and were used as evidence to commission a bespoke training package for my colleagues to attend at the end of the year. So when people write things, when you hear things like that, that have been written by, you know, your colleagues and people that you've worked with in the past, what does it mean to you to be nominated for this award?
It's almost too hard to put into words, because it's not really me, it's NLP. And so part of me feel, you know, that kind of imposter syndrome comes in and goes, you were just doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
But that's my head level. My ego loves, of course, the acknowledgement, the validation, I guess, of years. I mean, it's been 30 years of work, and even our research series, that was about 8 or 9 years of writing research articles to educate the community about what research was. It's long-term, you know, gradual drip feed. But if I go to my heart just feels warm and loved and appreciated and valued, and almost went to say, like, it's all been worth it. But I kind of knew it was worth it because I knew why I was doing it in the first place. So I'd have done it even without any acknowledgement. You know, I've never done it for the acknowledgement, but of course it's lovely to have reviews like that. And I think what's really lovely is I don't know who reads my articles. I don't know what they do with it. I don't know who's gone and used it in an MSc or PhD. And to get that feeding back kind of just feels like it closes the loop, which is really lovely. And I guess I'll never know how far out that ripple's gone, and I don't need to know. But yeah, you get a comment like that back and you go, wow, it's changed someone's ability to do their MSc. It's then created a course that goes out to hundreds, thousands of other people. And it kind of goes, yeah, I played the part I was there to play. Yeah. To support and hold up other people in research, because that's something I've done over the years a lot. Is people have come to me and said, can I just get some support off you? Can you mentor me? Can you talk me through research practice? And I've done that numerous times just for the love of it over the years. And I suppose I've had the quick feedback on that I know how they're doing and where they're going. But to get it from people I didn't know what they were doing with it, yeah, it feels good.
Good. So what one thing in your work do you think is making the difference?
Gosh. One thing. And I subdivide that into about 106.
Big chunk.
Yeah, I know, big chunk. I guess for me and what I do, it's about having that big picture vision of the why. That if I'm clear on why and the belief that I have something to contribute to that why, the what I do or the how I do it, it can find its own way. So yeah, it's about having, and it's been, as I say, 30 odd years of having that clear belief and vision in disseminating, both through research but also through education, what other great people have done, because it's not my work. And NLP and MBIT is not my work. It's work I've taken and got passionate about and shared on. So that's my part to play, is the kind of almost the bridge between these beautiful techniques and getting it out there into you know, a future group of people through education and research.
That's lovely, thank you. So where would you like to see NLP and particularly your work in the future?
I I have always said from the minute I came across NLP, and of course my background's healthcare, so that's a large part of my focus. I have always said I would like every single person who trains in any healthcare practice to have to learn NLP. Because for me, it explains so much about how people respond to, you know, what they're asked to do for their own health. It explains so much. And these days, with all the polyvagal stuff added in, it actually explains why a lot of people are sick. Even the communication model, when I first learned that communication model, and I go, why is every healthcare practitioner not taught this before they're allowed to go near a patient?
Wouldn't that be good?
Wouldn't that be freaking awesome? So yeah, I guess that would be one, is just getting it so that it's part of every curriculum. And I've kind of moved on from straight healthcare education, and these days I'm more in the stress, anxiety, trauma world. And so now that vision, which I already thought was quite big, is kind of even bigger. Where would I like it to go now? That every child is taught it in school for their own self-care and well-being. Because then it would knock into every professional route, regardless whether it's health or education or law or whatever. So yeah, big picture, I just think everyone would benefit from having it in their knowledge base and toolbox. Because it changes how you do life.
Yes. It's a good summary. and a wonderful aspiration to have, definitely, and one shared by many, including me. And
that's the thing is, right, I only have a small piece to play. So I don't, although I see that vision as my why, the only way we can do that is through collaborative, compassionate community. And unfortunately, sometimes what happens is people take it and go, oh, it's now mine, and I'm going to make a business and a name and a tribe, and it kind of gets separated off. And my kind of, I don't know, my heart breaks for that you lose the potential of the bigger vision when that happens. Part of the reason I love ANLP is that your whole philosophy is about bringing that community together. So I think we can only do it in community. And I think each person only has a very tiny, small part to play.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yes, we totally agree with that one. Well, thank you, Suzanne. It's been absolutely lovely chatting to you, and once again, congratulations for being a finalist in the education and research category. I know that you're in New Zealand. The awards are going to be virtual again this year, and the winners will be announced live virtually on Friday the 13th of May, which will be Saturday the 14th of May for you.
It will. I know you encourage people to dress up in all their finery and glitter and makeup and everything for the Saturday night. I mean, there's that kind of sarcastic, cynical part of me goes, well, I'll turn up in real life, the next morning at 8 a.m. in my pajamas and hungover. So
yeah, absolutely.
I promise I won't. I promise I won't.
Well, I think having missed the opportunity to dress up last year, I think it's quite important that we are going to encourage dressing up this year. There will be further details about the awards evening nearer the time, but yes, it is going to be live virtual, where all the winners will be announced. So once again, thank you, Suzanne, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Karen, and to everybody else that's out there doing education and research work, because in a way, this isn't about me, it's about the whole field, and they're doing amazing work.